Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glen and Yong.
What is up, everybody? Merch Minds podcast episode number 10 already. My name is Glen with the YouTube channel Hustler Hacks with Yong.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy after Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, almost December already.
Almost December. I don't know if what I just said made any sense, but
it made sense to me, man.
Okay.
That's all that matters. Makes sense. And man, 10 episodes already.
10 episodes, man. It flies by, huh?
Yeah, really quick. I mean, next thing you know, merch is gonna be like 3-4 years old already. Just kidding. We still have some time.
We'll see. We'll see how long this merch, business will last.
Forever.
I'm hoping. We have some exciting things to talk about. So I'm hoping it'll last for a while.
Tell everybody what our main topic is today.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about how to find and hire a graphic designer. I know
super important, especially if you don't want to do the designs yourself.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people don't want to do their own designs. They rather outsource that job to designers. So that's something that we'll talk about on this episode. But as always, we're going to start off the show and just talk about our own personal numbers. That's something that we'll get into right now. Glenn, if you want to tell us how you're doing.
Young, I was texting you, what was it, Black Friday or a little bit after?
Was it
giving you an update?
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember when you texted me, but I mean, you and I talk on a regular basis. But I remember you texting me. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you texted me, and you texted me today as well. So
yeah. Q4 has been awesome right now for merch, and I mean, some people have been like, I guess up and down. I don't know. I've seen mixed reactions so far with like Black Friday, Cyber Monday numbers, like up and down. But I can tell you right now, it's been like a crazy explosion of sales. And I showed you a screenshot. That's what I sent you earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers, royalties, 3,000 in the last 7 days. So I jumped. It went from like 200, 300 sales per week. Now at this point, I'm at 500 sales per week.
That's just silly. That's just silly, man.
It's ridiculous. I know, and I hadn't even done anything new or nothing. Only a couple of those have actually been like holiday Christmas themed. I haven't really even sold that many Christmas shirts yet. And Black Friday was like really good day. That was the day that I texted you that I was like, hey, I sold like 80 something shirts. I think that one day. But then Cyber Monday came around and like took all of that. Like Cyber Monday was like royalties was like 830 something bucks like for that one day.
Oh,
just
God.
one day.
Just unreal. And I think that was the case for most people on Cyber Monday, because looking into Facebook groups, everyone was saying how their numbers have jumped on Cyber Monday. So I guess the point we're trying to make here is, if you're in the merch business, apparently Cyber Monday is our biggest day. At least that's what we learned, right?
Yeah, any Amazon business in that case. I mean, I saw a bunch of numbers all over the place on my regular Facebook feed of screenshots of FBA and merch and I don't know what else.
Wow. But so how many shirts do you have now since the purge?
It's been that's a weird thing. I haven't gotten any shirts taken down. Like they're all still there. And I know there's like Halloween ones that have not sold yet. I think out of the 65, 70 Halloween shirts that I made, I think like maybe 10 to 20 of them actually sold. The rest of them have been on there for like probably like 75 days or more, and they haven't taken them down yet.
Huh.
So I don't know what's been going on as far as like the purge goes, because all my shirts are still on there, and I don't know. I know there's a lot of them that haven't sold for way more than 60 days.
And they're not pending removal. It doesn't say pending removal on the side.
Like it says pending removal, but it doesn't tell me how many days. But when they first announced it, I looked it up and it said like 7 days or 4 days, like
Right.
certain shirts had amount of days left. Now they just say pending removal, but they haven't gotten removed yet. So
Hmm.
I don't know
Interesting.
what's going on. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm not going to say anything on any podcasts or anything like that to try to get any type of attention or try to get any of my shirts taken down. Just
Well, it's too late because you've already mentioned it in this podcast. So
that's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. If they stay on, cool. But I know like a lot of the holiday themed ones, like especially early on during the year, Valentine's Day, all that stuff's going to come around again. But I know there's quite a few of those that haven't sold and
Mhm.
still on there. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But tell us what's going on with you and your
Yeah,
merch.
yeah. So I was maxed out a few weeks ago at 500,
Mm-hmm.
and since the purge, I was down to 300 shirts.
Okay.
I've been slowly re-uploading the ones that I know that have potential. So I've been slowly re-uploading those. So I'm up to 324 shirts. Okay, and you know, like you said, on Black Friday, I had sold 13 shirts in that one day. Okay,
Okay.
obviously, they're not the big numbers like yours, but for me, that was a huge milestone because 13 shirts in one day, for having 300 shirts, that was the most I had sold in one day.
In one day. Okay.
13 shirts, okay, and that was Black Friday. So I was happy. Um, and then come Cyber Monday, all hell broke loose. Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now, dude. I sold 25 shirts on Cyber Monday,
Nice.
beating obviously my previous record of 13 from Black Friday. And I and obviously this is our first experience on merch through Q4 because
Yeah.
you obviously last year didn't, you were more focused on FBA. And
Yeah.
when I spoke with you last year, I wasn't approved for merch at that time. So this is, and basically I was just floored by what was going on. I mean, it was like 10 plus shirts per day. And I think when you and I did the episode with Margaret, I had
Mhm.
mentioned that uh, my goal for the end of the month was to do about $1,200.
Yeah.
Well, I can happily say that I've not only met that goal, I've, as of now, and today's November 30th, I'm right around 1,350.
Nice. So we
So,
have today left is the last day of November, right?
hmm
Okay. So maybe at the end of the day, what, 1350, maybe 1400?
1,400 will be nice. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, strange things have happened, right? I mean, I've had
Yeah.
people come in like an hour before midnight and buy like 4 or 5 shirts. So who knows? I mean, it can happen. We'll see. But with December coming up tomorrow, I'm gonna uh, put another goal out there for myself, and I'll just let everyone know what that is. and we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a realistic goal or not, but I want to try and do 2,000 by the end of
Yeah,
December. We'll see.
two
We'll see if that
grand,
happens. Huh?
2 grand.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I mean, who knows what will happen in December? This is my first Q4 in merch, so I'm not sure what to really expect. But I mean, I'm just really pumped, man. I'm just really pumped, and we'll see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, write that down right now. Young goal December 2016, $2,000 royalty is his goal. Let's see if he meets it. Because if he doesn't, we're gonna make sure we send him a bunch of emails. Just kidding.
Hey, I love emails, man. Send them my way. Send them my way.
So what are you gonna do with this extra 1,300 bucks? Christmas money? Rent money?
Well, no, rent money. No, I mean, the end of December, I normally go on my little 2-3 week
Little getaway?
getaway, and so it'll go towards that, and depending on what my schedule's like, if it pans out, I might end up in El Paso again,
That's
and
what I like to hear.
you and I can hang out and celebrate, and
There you go.
maybe beat up on your brother Anthony and tell him to get on board here.
Oh, I know
Because
we need to get him for the show.
Yeah. So
Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm happy to hear that your numbers are growing right now, especially for Q4. Let's see what happens. We know how it is with FBA right after, the holidays, January, February. You start getting returns, and then it starts kind of slowing down, and then it's kind of try to pick up again. Kind of interested to see what happens with merch stuff.
yeah.
How do returns work? I mean, did we ever talk about returns or anything yet?
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how it works. I mean, when we get a return on our shirt, I mean, obviously we don't get that royalty anymore. But I'm just curious. Like, what do they do with that shirt? My guess is they probably donate it. Obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of guessing too. I mean, we know what happens with cancellations, but
yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna have to find that out. We're gonna have to call somebody and see.
Yeah. I'll take a really good guess, and I'm sure that they probably donate it. There's no reason why they would keep those shirts laying around in the warehouses.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. We'll have to make like a show just on returns. Just kidding, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, what do you think? Should we get into our topic?
Yeah, you wanna get into the nitty gritty here?
Yes, sir. Graphic design, something we know a little thing about.
Yeah. I mean,
A little thing or two.
I mean, that's what we went to college for. That's where our well, I'm not going to say my parents' money because I paid for college out of my own pocket. I don't know who paid for your college, but that's where
eBay and Amazon ended up paying for it later on. But
nice.
I know. I was just imagine with that school money, what I could have done, Young. I could have had who knows what kind of down payment for the house or
tell me
car
about it.
Or something.
Tell me about it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much where our hard-earned money went into, was to go to college and study graphic design. So I'm gonna do my best and try and tell you guys what to look for when hiring a graphic designer.
There we go. All right. So what do you want to start off with, Young?
Well, I have a list in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know if you have one or not, but I mean, we can go down my list.
Okay.
And just kind of, just go off that list, and then we can expand on each topic.
Okay.
The first thing I have is experience. Okay. You always want to look at the experience, like how many years have they been doing graphic design, and just because someone got started doing graphic design, it's not a bad thing, but just ask questions. How long have they been in the business? Ask. You don't have to ask where they got their degree, because technically graphic design is a profession where you don't really need a college degree. But but see what their experience is. I mean, some graphic designers, they do different things. Some have like, they do web design. Others do app design, um,
Illustration.
illustration. I mean, there's different elements of graphic design. So see where their experience is. See what they're doing the most.
Yeah, I think you can really tell what someone. You can probably even ask them too and see what their strengths are. But I think you'll probably find that out once you see someone's like portfolio and stuff like that. If they have one, more than
Hmm.
likely, if they've been doing it for a good while and they're used to doing like freelance work, they'll have a portfolio. I remember in school we had to like make the portfolio like a physical one and then like a web one and
Hmm.
it's a lot of work to put all that stuff together.
Yeah, yeah. No, that I mean that's that portfolio was on my list. But since you brought
Oh,
it
sorry.
up, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I mean, we'll
Okay.
get right into it. So that's your primary. That's the number one thing you want to look at. You want to look at their portfolio. Again, uh, technically, graphic design is a profession where you don't need a college degree. People could, I know people who've gone into corporate jobs with no college education, but their portfolio was so strong that they were able to get hired by like companies like HP and Nintendo, Sony.
Mhm.
So always ask for a portfolio, and like Glenn said, see where their strength is at.
Yeah, and then I remember we had like an old school professor that he used to
Oh,
do like billboards and like different drawings and stuff for magazines and everything like that. But he did this like old school. This is before Illustrator, any of this stuff. Everything was just hand drawn.
yeah.
Imagine like the client making changes, for like hand drawn stuff. Like he showed us like billboards that he did for one of like the milk or dairy companies or something he was doing. It was like a billboard. He had to like color it in, color pencil, drawn, with these like nice fine inks and stuff. And
Hmm.
like he was just kind of going about it how much things have changed. And what's also different too is like there's no Google or anything. You're not gonna like research
Yeah,
like I guess what has been done or whatever.
yeah,
But it's kind of crazy like where graphic design has kind of like evolved and stuff. But totally agree with
yeah.
portfolio.
Now, it sounds like you had the same professor that I've had.
What did-
What was his name? Nah, I'm just joking. But no, I had a professor as well. Really nice guy. Knew what he was doing, but very old school. Like he would show us his portfolio, and you could just tell by his portfolio that his stuff was really old school. A lot of it was handmade. Um, I'm not going to say before computers because they had computers back then, but
Mhm,
obviously they weren't as powerful and innovative like our current computers.
mhm, definitely.
And but yeah, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much should be your decision maker is by looking at the portfolio. I mean, you as someone who's going to be a client, you obviously know what you want on your shirts. So ask for their portfolio, and if their portfolio meets your standards, uh, definitely consider hiring them.
Mhm, for sure. What's next, Young?
What's next? Okay, so let's see. Where do you hire graphic designers, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Upwork and there's Fiverr. I've personally never used Upwork or Fiverr. I used Fiverr once because I was just so damn lazy when I first wrote my antique book ebook that I hired a designer to design my book cover,
Mhm,
and here's a problem with that, right? I paid $5. I got this ebook cover back, and I was like, you know, browsing through his portfolio, it was definitely a cookie cutter design. And what I mean by that is, basically all he was doing was he would tell you to pick a picture, or provide a picture for him, and then he would just use the same font, same layout for every freaking single book cover that he designed. And for me
You
at the
just plug
time,
it in.
yeah, and for me at the time, it was fine because, like I said, I, I personally didn't have the time to design one because of my own personal schedule, and I just didn't want to do one.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, that's not what you want, okay? Whether it's book covers or whether it's T-shirts, you don't want the same stuff over and over and over again,
Mhm.
because it just becomes too, it's bland.
Yeah.
It's bland.
So I actually wrote down. Well, I have like 5 different websites and stuff on like
Mhm,
where you can probably find a graphic designer, at least ideas.
mhm.
But Fiverr was on there.
Okay.
And just to talk a little bit about Fiverr, I did use it. I tried to get an intro for my Hustler Hacks YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And this guy had like a pretty good deal. And he had, of course, most of them. Okay, Fiverr, I guess for everybody that doesn't know what it is exactly, usually it's $5 and they'll give you like a graphic, or you can do like a sound bite, or you can do the voiceovers, or you can do a bunch of different stuff, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes you can pay a little bit more to maybe get it quicker. You want a graphic, in a day,
Of
or
course.
maybe 3 different choices or something when it comes to a graphic. And so this guy had like a package deal. I think it was like 2 different intros or something, but I wanted something like really, really quick, only like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And he had a pretty good example of one. So I paid the extra money, and then like it was supposed to be delivered in 2 days. So then on the 3rd day, I emailed him like, "Hey, like what's going on with this intro and stuff?" And he's like, "I apologize and blah blah blah. I'm gonna send it to you soon or whatever." He sent it to me the very next day, and it's like not even the intro that I wanted. I was like,
Oh
I
man.
picked the one I wanted, and that's the one that I want. Like, I don't want this other one. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me make the change. I'll send it to you as soon as I can." And then 2 days went by and I never got anything. So I had to get a refund on it, and then I never got my intro. And at
Mm.
this point now, Hustler Hacks doesn't have an intro. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have to get a new intro, or maybe a intro, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah.
But Fiverr is, I'm not going to say that there's bad designers on there, because not everybody is bad. I can't
No.
judge and
No.
just say, everybody's bad on there, because there are some good designers on there, but you're going to have to go through some trial and error. But I think that goes with everybody.
Of course.
You
Of
know,
course.
yeah, it doesn't matter who you hire. If they say they're good, maybe their portfolio is good, you're still going to have to build a relationship and go through trial and error to see what is good and what you like. And with Fiverr, I had that experience. And then, on my website, I do have some of the logos, other things that I've designed. At least a couple of times a week, I'll get emails, people saying like, "Hey, can you redesign this for me?" I got it from Fiverr.
Mhm.
And a lot of the times, but especially when it comes to logos, they already have like pre-made logos that they're just going to put in your name pretty much. Like, they're very stock, like,
Yeah.
and you can buy a lot of these stock logos off of
Very.
different websites too.
Yeah.
So, they're not really going to put a whole lot of work. It's not going to be an original design.
Mhm. And like Glenn said, very cookie cutter. But and basically, here's what we're trying to say with Fiverr: you get what you pay for. Okay. If you
Yeah.
honestly think you're gonna get a good design by paying $5, uh, again, you know, trial and error. Maybe, if you find that one designer, maybe you might be able to get some really good designs. But at the end of the day, um, and it sounds like I speak for both of us, from our experience, you're gonna get that cookie cutter design, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, um, but just know that you might be getting like an icon or some kind of an icon on your shirt that he or she used 50 other times on other t-shirts.
Yeah, and that's one of the bad things too, that I've gotten emails on. This is probably another thing that I know might have been on Young's list, but being able to like communicate with the designer and make sure you have like this trust that the designs that they're actually using is, copyright / trademark free. If they've already used it like 30 other times and you see someone else already has that shirt, or maybe they stole the design from somebody else. That was one of the huge problems with merch in the beginning. A lot of people were getting like stolen designs on Fiverr, and you do not want to go through any of that stuff for sure. You don't want to get because of something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. So that's our experience with Fiverr, and I've dabbled with Upwork, and I actually don't mind Upwork. With Upwork, and tell me if you agree, Glenn. With Upwork, now you're getting some quality work, in my opinion. Again, it's just a matter of really browsing around and finding that one designer that really resonates with what you want. And again, that you really just have to inspect everyone's portfolio.
Yeah, and Upwork was actually another one on the list that I had, and I used Upwork back when Kindle publishing was out there, and people were trying to ebooks and all that stuff. Oh man, it was kind of a tedious process, I think, to kind of like some people wouldn't even respond, or I don't know. I guess it depends on the relationship and stuff, because that one you're really gonna have to build one. But I think that's very important. Like comparing Upwork to Fiverr, because Fiverr, you don't really get that communication type of like feel. Like sometimes you won't even really hear from them 2 or 3 days. But Upwork, at least you can talk to them a little bit more. Some of them, they'll even Skype with you and stuff. So at least you can have that type of like relationship there.
Yeah, that one-on-one personal interaction, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I approve of Upwork. If you guys want to go on there and shop around, I approve. Again, it's just it's entirely up to you to ask for their portfolio, and a lot of them will have their portfolio. On their profile, but also, if they're a graphic designer, ask for their personal website. Most graphic designers have a personal website with their portfolio, so ask for that as well. And make your decision based off that.
Yeah.
So what were your other three?
The next one I had was 99 Designs. Ever gone to that site?
I know of it, and they're really good.
Yeah, so 99 Designs. I actually got this idea too from Mike, because he had kind of shared it also on a different, I think when he was live with Joe and Margaret, he talked about how it's because 99 Designs, I'll tell you a little bit about it and how it works. So you're going to pretty much submit like your business and tell them what you need designed. So I can say, you know what, Hustler Hacks is my business, and I want a logo for it. I want a cool design with this certain colors, and I'm about sneakers and thrifting and making money and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Then I have to pick like a design package. Like, they have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, which obviously you're going to pay more money if you want platinum. You also get more designer entries. So the next step is you're going to like launch this contest, and graphic designers are going to submit, Hustler Hacks logos for me to review and look at. So I can kind of see what I like. And it kind of turns into like, yeah, they're kind of competing against each other. And then I have to pick one that I really, really like. And then that's going to be the winner,
Right.
And I don't know, like when I first saw this website, I guess I can see it 2 different ways. I think that if you want to get an awesome design, I think that can happen, and you're probably good to go as far as putting in money in, getting the result you want. As far as the designer, I think that's like, if you're putting in a lot of time and work into it to try to win this contest, I'd rather put my time into something else. Like, and when I looked at it as like, for a designer point of view, I was like, man, this sucks for the designer. Like, you're putting in all this time, effort to make a cool logo, and you're just competing with a whole bunch of other people, just hoping you get, a piece of the pie, because that's what they're getting. 99 Designs is what's making the most money out of this. They're not really doing anything but hosting this thing.
And if I recall, they're super expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. If you want to know a little bit about the pricing, let's say I'm looking for a Hustler Hacks logo. The platinum one is $1,300, which is what you're gonna make on merch this month. Expect around 60 designs from exceptional designers, money back guarantee, and you can go through the designs and see what you like. All packages come with a 100% money back guarantee and full copyright ownership of the final design. So Mike was telling me that you can go through some of like the ongoing ones that are going on right now. You can see the work, see what people are putting out there as far as the designers goes, and then maybe even contacting some of these designers and be like, hey, I have this shirt thing going on. Let me know if you're interested. I could pay you this amount per hour or per design, however much you want to do it. Contact them, see if they're interested. And if I was a designer, I would really like to be in contact with somebody that's consistent on merch than to be trying to compete on these little contests.
Yeah, no, no, that one. Sorry, I just did like a little minor cough there. Yeah, no, that would suck because you put all your time and effort. Again, as an example, if a designer was doing a logo, you put all your time and effort into designing this logo, and then he goes, "Nah, I don't like your logo," and then you spent like your last 6-7 hours doing this logo for nothing. So yeah. It totally sucks as a designer. But yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about 99 Designs. I do know that you can get quality work, but expect to pay a lot. I mean, like a lot. So that's 99 Designs.
Yeah. The next one I had was Dribbble. So dribbble.com/designers. And you can see a bunch of designers by location, maybe their skills, if they're good at t-shirt designs, illustration, web design, availability. They have different amount of followers. You can also see their portfolio. It really is a cool site. And there's a lot of good work on here. And professional graphic designers that I know will have some pretty good stuff. And I can tell you right now, looking at some of their work, I'm pretty sure they're going to be pricey. These are the real deal graphic designers and not, just random people maybe taking some of the cookie cutter designs. I think these are, I mean, they have really, really good stuff, but you are going to pay some high dollar if you want to go through some of these designers, but take a look at it if you want. Dribbble.com/designers.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of Dribbble, so that's something that I have to go check out later.
Yeah, you can actually contact some of these designers like directly. They have followers and stuff like that, and probably get a price quote and stuff to see how much it would cost. But really, really good stuff. If anybody wants to see what some good high quality design looks like, you can take a look at that site. So, and then last, this is just an idea, and we talked about this too. This would be going to your local university and posting up a flyer,
dude,
at the lab. Because when I was a student, I would definitely take on, instead of working, I worked at the university at the office. I did part-time graphic design. I was doing catalogs and stuff like that for one of the programs, and it was quite a bit of work. they got their money's worth, because I was doing like some heavy duty catalogs, like 80 to 100 page catalogs, formatting them in InDesign. I was doing a lot of stuff like that as a student, but I'm pretty sure you can get a good student that's already over halfway done at the university, maybe going to graduate in 2-3 semesters, has some good experience, and could get you some, good basic designs for merch and pay them a good amount. And you know how it is in college. You're struggling out there. You got ramen noodles. You want to eat. You're hungry. You didn't get to work.
Yeah, no, that was actually on my list, and I'm glad you brought that up, Glenn. But yeah, go to your local college or university and ask. Like Glenn said, these are poor, these are 19, 20-year-old kids. Poor. They don't have a job, and if they do, they're working part-time, getting paid minimum wage,
and going to school.
And going to school. I mean, it's if you can pay them, and mind you, I mean, they're not going to charge you a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Students. At least they shouldn't. I mean, they're not going to charge you like the professional prices because, number one, they're still in college. They just technically shouldn't charge you professional prices. But number two, they're in the process of building their portfolio. So,
exactly.
You as a client, you're providing them that opportunity to not only build their portfolio, but to, earn a little income on the side. So that is probably, I mean, there's some talented designers at colleges, and you just don't know about them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So definitely go to your local college, and whether you post on flyers or go to the graphic design department and have them shoot out an email blast to all the students.
You can contact some of the professors maybe to see if they want to post it or anything like that. Some of them even have their own Facebook groups, like the art department or something like that you could look up. And totally agree with Young. I mean, they're gonna want to build up their portfolio and their resume. I mean, they could say that they've done freelance design, for somebody for so-and-so long, months. If you're hiring them and it's consistent, you're building up sales. That's going to look good for them, to have this freelance experience, and they get to build a portfolio, and they're getting paid. Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. That was one of the things I was looking for when I was like a junior in college. I was like, man, I have to get some type of experience because nobody's going to hire me without any experience and nothing on my resume, but except me working at Toys R Us for like 2 years. That's not going to help me anything with graphic design. So I was just like applying anywhere that I could. I remember I was visiting the office like every day, like, are you guys still hiring? When are you guys going to be interviewing? And I was just like every day, like I really, really wanted to work because that's like a huge thing for the resume, like some type of graphic design experience.
Yeah. See, now I was very fortunate. I mean, some of you guys know my story. I went to college late in my, short life that I've been living so far. And when I was going to college, I had a job. I was doing design. I was doing the in-house design for my day job, which I still have. So I was very fortunate. I didn't have to go through all that like Glenn and a lot of the other students that are currently going to college. But I mean, if you give them that opportunity, oh my gosh, and you tell them that it's a long term, that you're gonna want T-shirts like every other week. These kids they'll be at your doorsteps begging you to hire them. No joke, man. But yeah, definitely a good tip there, Glenn. Great minds think alike. That was definitely on my list. I will throw another one out there just real quick. Behance.net, BEHANCE.net. It's a site that Adobe owns. A lot of college students are on there as well. So you can go on there and browse around and find designers.
And is that kind of like Upwork, like very similar, or no?
No, it's more. It's like Facebook for designers. People. Designers go there and create their profile. They upload their work. You know, they upload their resume and other specialties and all that. So it's kind of like a Facebook, MySpace. I don't know if MySpace even exists, but definitely, definitely a Facebook for designers.
Thanks for the update on MySpace, Tom.
I know, man. What was that about, huh? Where'd that come from?
I have no clue.
Where did that come from? But yeah. And do you have anything else, Glenn?
Those are the main 5 that I think I had for the main ideas. I guess on like where to find them. We started off with like, I guess, qualities you want to look for in a designer. So maybe we can keep going on that.
Okay. Well, actually, you know what? Just going back to where to find designers. Okay. Just another quick pro tip. Ask around. Okay. I bet you if you ask 10 of your friends right now, after you listen to this podcast, someone's gonna know a designer. Someone. Yeah. Seriously, like ask around. Somebody knows a designer and they can recommend one.
You can even put like an ad on Craigslist if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there to find a good designer. So just got to be creative. But you were talking about the quality of work.
Well, like I guess the qualities that you want to see in a designer. We talked about portfolio. We talked about kind of having that trust and communication when it comes to like trademark, being in contact very often so you can see what's going on, keeping updated on it. We talked about what was the first one you brought up besides portfolio?
You mean the experience?
Oh yeah, the experience, portfolio, trust. I don't know. I guess what else in a graphic designer you would want?
Well, I mean, again, basically, what is their specialty? Are they illustrators? Are they, do they work better in? And when I say illustrator, meaning they work on the Wacom tablet. They physically sketch a design. Or do they work in Adobe Illustrator? Is someone's specialty in type? There's various elements of a designer. So it's really what you want, and to just again look at their portfolio and really pinpoint the type of designer that you guys want to hire.
And what about price? Like, how much do you think you'd be willing to pay, I guess, for a designer? The thing is, it's kind of unfair, I think, for me, maybe even you, to like tell you what I think is fair, because for a graphic designer, like I think like designers deserve a good amount of money because we come from that background. But of course, if you see it from the opposite end and you want to make money because you want to sell shirts, you're like, I need to get these bad boys cheap because if they don't sell, then I'm throwing money away.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, no designer is on the same level. Okay.
Yeah.
There's designers that are better than me. I'm better than someone else. Like I'm better than Glenn. That was a joke. You're supposed to laugh, man. Come on.
That wasn't very funny.
Huh?
You know what? This
come on.
Is over. Just
come
on.
But there's designers on a different level.
Yeah.
And again, it just really depends on what they do, what you want. I mean, let's see. I think a good rate for like a serious designer, and this is just my own personal opinion from my own personal experience, I think you can typically hire a mid-range graphic designer from about $35 and up. Okay.
Yeah.
You can find them cheaper, but it's just a matter of you finding the designer that you want to work with and negotiating a price. So you can definitely negotiate. But I think typically it's anywhere from $35 and up.
Yeah, and I think also depends on like where you live. Like over there where Yong's at in California,
man,
you're probably gonna pay some big bucks because people need to live,
Yeah. No,
Over here where I live in El Paso, it'd be like, I don't know, you could probably get a really, really good deal because cost of living over here is totally different than California. So I think you can probably get a better deal on that. And of course, college students, I think you'll get a better deal on that too because they're not necessarily a professional yet.
But again, I mean, if you establish that relationship and you let them know, even if it's a college student, say, hey, let's say John over here is a college student, and you like his work, you saw his work, you saw his portfolio, and you go to John and say, hey, I know you're a college student, but I really like your work. I have a long-term job for you that I can pay you, this amount. Would you be interested? My guess is John is probably going to say yes. But once you establish that relationship with John, he's going to be with you for a while, right? And then at some point, he might ask for a raise. Who knows? I mean, that's between you two, but he might not. He could say, hey, Glenn, you've been my first client since college, man, and I enjoy working with you, and that's just bread and butter for me. So let's just keep the relationship going. It's really up to you as a client to build that relationship.
Yeah, you kind of have the upper hand at that point because you're approaching them with a deal. The other way around, if you go to Upwork and some of these, you're searching for one and they might already have like a planned rate. So it's just really going to depend on that. Or if you want to pay per design, and then see how that goes. On my end, I usually do like package deals. If somebody wants, like 25, then I'll charge like $250, for 25 designs, which I think is a really, really good deal. But, if you order less, I'll charge more because, I can crank out more at one time. If I have to go back and just do like one at a time, it gets like here and there, or maybe just 5 at a time. They usually charge a little bit more, but everybody's different. And it really just depends on the person.
And don't, gosh, and I hate saying this, but don't be afraid to pay. I know there's a lot of you guys out there. You guys are, I'm not bashing you. I'm just speaking the truth. You guys are cheapskates, man. You guys, man, that's too much. I don't want to pay you $15 an hour or whatever, right? I mean, guys, this is. I mean, you're paying for their time and their creative mindset. I mean, if you pay anything less, I mean, you're doing them a disservice, and technically you're doing yourself a disservice because if you're trying to lowball them, they're not going to do that good of a job.
And I think that they might actually start slacking off a little bit after they get a good amount of like how much work is coming in. Let's say you're cheered up to 500 like Yang over here and be like, hey, I need 100 designs a week or something. They might get a little burnt out too. And then if you're paying them minimum wage or near that or something, they might get a little, ticked off about that and just you know what, this isn't even worth it. I got homework to do. I'm out of here. But if you're paying them a decent wage and then maybe you tell them, you know what, after a certain point, I want to see how your work is. I'm going to move you up. Kind of give them that little hope that, yay, I can move up after I get a certain amount in, or I like to see the work done, stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. Trust me. Don't be that person. And if you are that person, well, then you're probably just better off doing your own designs because, again, you're not only doing a disservice to the designer, you're doing a disservice to yourself because you're not going to get quality designs.
That's the most important thing. I mean, you want to be making money out of this. You don't want to just get what you pay for and you're like, this design's okay. But then that also goes with probably for a different episode, but like how people actually view designs, because some people might think some design is really, really cool, and then to other people, they're like, this design is kind of crappy when you think about it.
I mean, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, again,
and in this case, the customer.
Yeah, I mean, what I consider good design, Glenn might be like, oh, what the hell? But I mean, but regardless, again, it's your responsibility to pay that designer what he's worth. Again, you can always negotiate, but don't ever lowball the designer. I mean, Glenn, I'm sure because you do a lot more freelance than I do. When people lowball you, I mean, it's at that point I just don't even want to work with them anymore.
Yeah, I've gotten like some people trying to trying to hustler hacks, and that just doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's a no. So and guys, again, we talked about tax write-offs. I mean that is a write-off essentially. Just ask for an invoice, and then at the end of the year, you can write that off because
exactly.
that's an expense for your business.
Yeah.
And then I want to get into the next part here, which is asking for feedback or talk to uh, previous clients of theirs, right? So for instance, if I'm interested in hiring Glenn, just say, hey, do you have any clients that I can talk to maybe? I just, I'm really, Glenn, I like your work, but I need some reassurance. Can I talk to, maybe 2 of your clients and just get some feedback? And you know what? If they have nothing to hide, they'll be like, oh yeah, call up, these 2, and make a decision based on that.
Yeah.
So,
that kind of goes with the trust thing too. Be like, yeah, Glenn never showed up for work. He missed deadlines. This dude was just a slacker. He was watching YouTube videos at work and stuff, and I wouldn't recommend it at all.
Yeah, but definitely get some feedback from other clients and stuff, and then interview them. Interview your designer, because at the end of the day, when you do hire them, they're your employee. Okay. And I hate saying that, it's more like a partnership, but I mean, you are paying them, right? So technically, I guess you are they are your employee. I mean, and I hate using that term because it's more of a partnership, but yeah, I mean, interview them. If they're not local, you know, cell phone, Skype, Google Hangout, take 20, 30 minutes, to interview them and, see what they're like.
Exactly. And I think, I don't know, was that it for the list though? Because I was going to say something else, but.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have some other stuff that I want to get into, but that's
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no. That's going to come, here, in the next few minutes. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have as far as hiring a designer.
Okay. You can proceed now. Sorry.
No, but you said you had something, right?
Oh, well, I was just going to talk about like doing your own designs, but that's kind of like for a different thing, because we're talking about hiring. We're not talking about doing your own thing. But doing your own thing, though, I think would be a very important episode, because I think that really is important to gain that experience, though, to try to learn some of these programs so they can help you down the road. But that's for a different show. Sorry, Young.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, those are pretty much what I have as far as finding the right designer for your shirts. Do you have anything to add?
Well, I had, pretty much on where to find them. Any other qualities I guess I can think of? I think we kind of covered, most of them.
Okay. Well then let's get into this next topic, which I know you and I discussed this in the past, is the don'ts of hiring a graphic designer. Okay.
Oh, the don'ts.
Don'ts. Number one, as a client, don't control the project. Okay. Don't be that person that be like, okay, I want this here, I want that there, I want this over here and I want that over there. As graphic designers, we hate people doing that. It's like you're obviously hiring them for their creative skills. Let them be creative. Okay. If you're telling them exactly where you want the font or where you want that drawing, you might as well just do the designs yourself. Don't be that person who's like constantly, just telling them how to do the design. Again, if you're doing that, just do the damn design yourself. Otherwise, let them do the work for you. And then if it's not what you want, communicate that with them, and so that they can make the revisions and changes. But don't control the project.
Yeah, now you're just like spending a lot of time critiquing that. Exactly, like you might as well just do it yourself, because that's a lot of work on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gosh, man, I just, that's one of my pet peeves, and I just hate when people do that. And here's another note. Okay, ask for a reasonable ETA, and don't keep asking them when your project is done. Okay. meaning here, I hired Glenn. Hey Glenn, I just hired you to do 20 shirts, and Glenn gives me an ETA of, I don't know, 2 weeks. Okay, don't be that person 4 days later. Hey Glenn, is my shirts done yet?
Yeah.
Glenn's response is, no, I'm still working on them. Okay. And then the next day, oh, hey Glenn, how's my project coming along?
Yeah.
Don't be that person. There's nothing more irritating than people just constantly breathing down our necks, just asking if the project is done. It's just, and for me, it's not even worth it. If someone is doing that constantly, I just rather not even work with them anymore.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
just me.
Yeah, when is that project done? It's like, didn't we just talk about this yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, if they give you an ETA, again, for instance, if they say 1 week, give them that 1 week, and then check up on them.
Yeah, and then you'll find out, and if they don't have anything done, then start looking for another one. I mean, you don't have to, waste your time and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
at least give them their time.
But yeah, I mean, give them the time, and if it's not done, if the guy does quality work, and you've done all your research about him, you've gotten good reviews and feedback about the designer you hired, there must be a good reason why he didn't finish it. So just communication is good. Just always communicate.
Yeah.
But again, don't be that person talking about, hey, is my stuff done? Is it ready yet? There's nothing more irritating than people doing that. Okay.
Or like when you make changes, and I would always get like but don't worry, it'll only take like a minute or two. Like just to make this quick change and stuff. Well, a quick change to somebody that doesn't know the programs
exactly, and
could really be a totally different thing.
Right, and you and I, we've had private conversations where when people say stuff like that, it's because they're unaware of the process. Okay, they don't know how the software works, and in their mind, they think, oh well, it shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes. Oh really? Okay. All right. Well, maybe you should start designing your own shirts, and but yeah, I mean, and also on that, just know that you're not their only client. They have other clients. Okay, and if they're good designers, they probably have clients that are paying a lot more than what you're paying them to create T-shirts. Okay. Glenn, you and I talked about my, I got this contract job that's paying me. I don't really want to say, but you know how much they're paying me, Glenn, and it's a significant amount of money. And if I took on a designing job, creating T-shirts, and someone's just keep asking me, and if their stuff's done, I'd rather just cancel that job and just because to me it's not worth it, because I'm already working on something that's paying me a lot more money. Yeah. So just remember that you're not their only client. They have other clients and other jobs. So just remember that. Yeah. So those are the don'ts of hiring a graphic designer. If you have anything else to add, Glenn, now is your time.
Just remember that you're not going to get graphic design fast, cheap, and awesome at the same time. That's just not going to happen. I mean, you're going to have to kind of go like, if I'm going cheap, then maybe I can get it quicker, but it's probably not going to be great. If I want great, maybe I can get it quick, but I'm gonna have to pay some good amount of money in order to get that.
Yeah.
You can't get all three.
Yeah. And again, guys, if if what you get back isn't what you want, don't be that person. Oh, well, this sucks. No, don't be. Communicate with him or her and let them know. Say, hey, this isn't exactly what I wanted. Maybe there was some miscommunication, and work it out. Work it out.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's a relationship between you and the designer. For some reason I cannot say the word designer tonight. I don't know why. Jeez. It's a relationship between you two. So communication is really key, especially if you hire someone who's not local. So always communicate.
Yeah. And another don't is just really quick. Don't tell them to make the design pop. Can you just make that pop a little more?
What does
Just
that
make it
mean?
pop. I have no clue,
What
but
does that mean?
I've heard it just too many times. And I asked the same thing. What does that mean? And there's no explanation to it. It's just
yeah. And
it's pretty much one of those things like they know it when they see it. Just make it pop.
I have no idea what that means. But and if a design doesn't sell, I can almost guarantee you it's not because of the design. It's because of the niche that you're in or the category. Um, you know, and don't ask for elaborate designs, because the more elaborate the design is, the more they're going to charge you. And if it doesn't sell, and not and then you start blaming I cannot say the word tonight, Glenn. I don't know why. And if you start blaming the designer, that's again, I think chances are you're just in the wrong category.
And I think
so don't blame the designer. I don't know why I can't say it tonight. If your shirt doesn't sell.
Yeah, I mean it could be the design, but I think I talked about on my channel just like different factors that go into play. The design is one, the niche is going to be another one, the keywords, and last, your price. All four of those are going to be a factor on if your shirt is going to sell or not. So consider all four of those. And then five, because I had the 5 one, but 5 was kind of optional, which was about the marketing. Because I know I haven't done any marketing. We talked to Mike. Mike has done good things with marketing his designs. So if you're pushing your designs, that would definitely help you sell. But all 5 of those should come into consideration, and not just the design being crappy. Look at all 5 of those things, because that's all going to come into play.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have today. I mean,
all right, man, that was a pretty good show and long show talking about design stuff, and it was just a little part of it too. I mean, I can go on about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this was an episode that had to come out because I think, designers are always blamed for something. If something doesn't sell, or the design was bad, but just consider these facts when you go look to hire a graphic designer, because you have to understand, they have their own rates, they have their own creative style, everyone's different. So it's really your responsibility. Again, the number one thing is to look for their portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
If they have a strong portfolio, and you like their work, contact them, and then figure out a rate or a price, and then work it out between the designer.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, today's the last day of November. I am flying out to Nashville tomorrow, so I'm going to try and edit this tonight and upload it. So by the time you guys hear it, it should be Wednesday night. So it's a little early, and then we'll be back next week at our usual time. But guys, we always end the show every week asking for you guys to go to iTunes and leave us any type of feedback, whether you like the show or dislike the show. You don't like me or you don't like Glenn, whatever. Let us know, because otherwise we can't improve, right? So yeah,
and if there's a topic that you want us to cover, email me, hustlerhacks, the number 1 at gmail.com.
And you can
You can
email
also
me.
email Yong.
Yeah, you can email me at hybridstyle@gmail.com, and both our email addresses will be in the show notes. But yeah, please, the best thing you can do is to just go on iTunes and leave us a review, so that way we can make improvements and really provide a quality show for you guys. But with that said, I'm done. Glenn, any closing comments?
I think that's it. I'm excited for Q4. Let's see what December brings, and then we'll update you guys too, see what we're doing on our sales and or tearing up or anything else going on. So we'll let you know next week.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, see ya.